What it do, what it do, what it do. Peace, beautiful people. Peace, peace, and blessings to everybody. Peace, it is I, Shogun K, back like broad straps and 4 flats on the Cadillac. Sheesh, I'm here with it. Back with another video. Y'all know what time it is, man. As you can see, I ain't doing no green screen today, man. You getting raw and uncut. It's a few things I want to talk about. You know, for those that don't know, it's cancer season. That's right, Team Cancer in the building. I just celebrated a birthday. You feel me? Getting older, getting up there. More wisdom, knowledge, education, jewels, and gems. You feel me? Yeah, man. So I just wanted to come on here and talk. To be 100. I just wanted to come up here and talk. I didn't want to have a crazy outline for a video and try to do a reaction video or play a game and none of that. I just wanted to talk to the people that can relate. If this conversation is something you're interested in about life lessons you've learned as you get older, as you take another trip around the sun, we're going to lock in and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to lock in and talk about that today. I'm just making sure I'm live everywhere. It's my first time using what is it called? Restream. So, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get on you know what I'm saying? If you're a content creator, you know the struggles I'm going through right now. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
So don't shoot your boy. You feel me? Give me a chance. You know what I mean? Give me a chance to get some stuff going. You feel me? All right, man. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about lessons learned. Like I just said, I just celebrated the birthday. So if you Team Cancer, let your boy know. Because we always in the building. So I went to the infamous ChatGPT and I said, ChatGPT, what are some lessons that everybody should have learned by the time they hit their 40s? I've already told you I'm onk. You feel me? I'm onk age. I've already told y'all that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming to terms with it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like time has, you know what I'm saying, is on crack and it's definitely lapped me. It feel like time has just gone by so quick, but it is what it is. I'm thankful I'm still here. I'm blessed to still be here. I'm blessed to still have my health. I'm blessed to still look good and youthful. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't got that. What Martin used to say, this face belongs on the tissue. Yeah. Let me see here. Let me make sure. Boom. I can see that. We good. We good money. All right. So I asked ChatGPT life lessons you should have learned by 40. By the time you in your 40s, you know what I'm saying? Things you could look back on that you should have learned. The first thing it's talking about, it says your time is your most valuable resource. And I can definitely, you know what I'm saying, understand that because time is something that, you know, it's your most valuable commodity. You know what I mean? Let's do some cooking on time. You can't get time back. The most valuable currency you can ever have is time, the unstoppable force that don't stop for no man. Father Time stops for no man, woman, child, dog, cat, bird, or anything. Yo, what up, family? You hit me last night and I was with the wife, you know what I mean? I was watching the fight but getting the blessing at the same time. Hey, man, shout out to my boy Hanzo in the building. Corey Hanzo's in the building right now. Shout out to him. If y'all don't know, this is the Uno squad, Uno gang, man. Unks and over. Yeah, y'all seen the list. If you unk age and over, you need to be tapping the fuck in. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you, what is the age? What is the age for unks? 35? If you 35 and up, you unk status. Yeah, we ain't forget you either. If you over 35 shorty, you auntie now. Yeah. We gonna give some wise jewels and information. So in case you missed it, hey, what up, gang? Uno gang in the building. That's what it is, man. Unks and overs, man. Uno Check it out, man. Your time being your most valuable resource, because it is. It's the one thing you can't get back, the one thing you can't do without, and the one thing the richest person would like to have control of, but they can never touch because it lives outside of our element, and we all lack the control to do something about it, except for live in the moment, plan for the future, and try to reconcile the past. Was them bars or what? Come on, man. Hey, so let's talk about it, man. Time. Why is time valuable? Can't get it back. We waste time every day, every minute, every second. How are you utilizing your time while you're here? Things, when I look back, if I had better time organization and understanding of time, I would have spent my time building, more building, less tearing down. See, when you young, when you super young, when you in that YN stage, you're not thinking about building. You're thinking about living in the moment. You know how we all say YOLO, right? Live in the fast lane. You know what I'm saying? Live fast, die fast. It's real life. That's how I go, man. We're not thinking about building. We're thinking about living life as it is right now. Not even thinking about how time is just slipping away every day, every second, every moment, and we can't get none of it back. So I definitely learned that lesson. I learned that in my 30s. My 30s, I really started, man, people calling me. I really started learning that in my 30s, for real, for real. That time is really something we got to pay more attention to, because when it's gone, it's gone. And when you use your time, when your time has been spent, you feel me, the Most High call you back. So using your time wisely, and that's in all aspects of life, whether you got goals you're trying to accomplish, whether you got relationships you got, whether that's intimate relationships, friend relationships, business relationships, time is most important commodity that you can't change or alter. But you get to determine how you use that time. And we all got a time limit, you feel me? So the next thing on the list, it says, not everyone deserves access to you. Ooh. That's a lesson I'm still learning, but it's 100% facts. All facts. Not everybody deserves access to you, because once you understand self-worth, once you understand who you are, the position you play, and who God has called you to be, not everybody can have access to the king or to the queen. Nah, you can't give everybody access. You got to have some form of exclusivity. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, I've had to distance myself from family, friends, and people that I've outgrown. It is what it is, because everybody just can't have access to you. You ever have that one friend or family member that's always negative, that's always down and out and always in some bullshit and going through trauma and going through drama, and just, it's always negative. Even when you talk to them, you feel like it's a thick cloud hovering over the conversation. Every time you see that phone ring, you don't even want to pick it up sometimes, because you already know it's going to be a whole bunch of negative shit that you don't want to deal with. You got that family member or that friend that feel like every conversation is holding you back in life because they're dragging you to this negative space you don't want to be in. That's why everybody can't have access to you. You got to limit the access. Sometimes you got to deal with people on a see you when I see you type basis. What you think about that, Hanzo? What you think about that, Hanzo? Have you started learning that lesson as we gotten older in life? Have you started learning that everybody doesn't have access to you? That you got to really start to divvy out who you give your time to, you know, your most valuable commodity. Have you noticed that? Let me know if y'all noticed that in the chat, man. If you agree that not everybody deserves access to you, let me know. Let me know, because I want to know what you think. I really started learning that late 30s. I'm still learning it, though. Still learning that lesson, man, because it's hard. Because you don't want to be that guy or that, you know, or that woman. You don't want to be the person that people will be like, oh, you know, he done changed up, she done changed up, she different now, he different now. You don't want to be that person. So we allow people to access us, you feel me? Access our energy, access our lives, access our family, access our success. We allow them to share into our lives even when we know they toxic and we know they got negative energy and got nothing going for themselves. That ain't what we want. Nah, we got to learn a lesson. You got to limit Who has access to you? You feel me? We gotta put limitations on that. As you get older, you're gonna learn it. I'm still learning it. I ain't got it figured out all the way. I'm still learning that. But I wish this was a lesson I contemplated on early on in life, because I could have got rid of a whole lot of dead weight a long time ago. Whoa in the building. Buju 90, big whoa in the building. What it do, bro? Corey Hanzo says 942. My circle is extremely small. Can't soar with the eagles and flock with the pigeons. Hey, that's a bar. You hear that right there? You can't soar with the eagles and flock with the pigeons, man. Come on, man. Them is gems right there. You know what I'm saying? You can't do both. You can't be a pigeon hanging with, an eagle hanging with the pigeons. You can't do that. Nah, that's not how this thing go. That's not how that work. Birds of a feather flock together, huh? If it look like a duck, quack like a duck, smell like a duck, sound like a duck, it probably is a duck. So if you ain't no duck, hey, you got to remove yourself from the other ducks. You got to be with the other eagles. You know what I'm saying? If you a lion, you got to be with the lions. If you a hyena, you got to be with the hyenas. Now we ain't mixing and all that. You feel me? You got to be around the people that's on your energy, on your level. Hanzo, shout out to that 100%. You can't soar with the eagles and flock with the pigeons. Boy, them bars. All right, the next thing on the list here. And for those just tapping in, I'm going over life lessons you should have learned by the time you hit your 40s. We going over life lessons. I just hit my birthday Friday. And so I'm just contemplating life lessons. So I hit Chat GPT up and I said, hey, what life lessons should I have learned as I go into my 40s, right? And this is the list they gave me. The first one was your time is your most valuable resource. The second one was not everyone deserves access to you. Now, the third one is friendship is about quality, not quantity. I'm going to say that again. Friendship is about quality, not quantity. When you're young, you meeting so many people, the circle is large. And like Hanzo just said, Corey Hanzo just said, as I got older, I'm 42 now, my circle is small, smaller than a Cheerio. And so was mine. Growing up, I had homies all over from every different hood in Annapolis where I'm from. Shout out to Annapolis, Maryland. Every different hood where I'm from, bro. Had friends back to back to back to back to back. As I got older, my circle got smaller because you really find out people were never really your friends. They was just affiliates. People was never really out for you for real. You had something they wanted. Whether it was clout, whether it was money, whether it was because of your aura. They never wanted what was best for you. They were just around to be around because you gave them something they wanted at the time. So it's about the quality. The quality of what? The quality of people you dealing with. You can't be expecting a person to be genuine when all their attributes is snakish. You know, a lot of us are concerned with having 20, 30, 40 friends, yo, but you ain't even got a solid 5. How many of y'all can't even call somebody when you need help right now? If you needed $20, some of y'all can't even call these so-called friends for $20 cash apps. The friends is the one that's calling you up just to hit you up to see how you doing, see how the family's doing. They don't need or want nothing from you. It could be years since y'all to talk and you might have just crossed their mind and they wanted to check in on you. Those are your friends. It's about the quality, not the quantity. I would rather have 5 to 10 solid friends who I know gonna hold me down, who I know got my back, who I know got my best interests, you feel me, at all times in their heart, and my heart reflects the same for them. I would rather have them than 40 friends full of a bunch of niggas that don't care nothing about me. Think about that. Who can you call right now? Can you pick up the phone and call one of your friends? I'm talking to the people who is over 30 at this point. No, if you got kids, I'm talking to you right now. Matter of fact, hold on. Because a lot of y'all be having kids and be making godparents about these friends who ain't really on nothing. And a godparent is somebody supposed to pick up your kids and raise your kids if something happened to you. Can you right now, if you got kids, can you call your friends, the people that you claim as your friends, to take your kids if you need them to take your kids? Lord forbid if something happened to you, can you call those people to handle everything that needs to be handled on a financial level, on a kids dealing with the children, on a consoling level? Could you contact these people who's supposed to be your friends and really have them be your friends? You gotta think about that. If you really think about it, look at the people you got in your circle and really ask yourself, are you really my friend, or are we just affiliates? Are we just associates? And that's cool if we are, but you gotta know who they are. So, number 4, it says it's okay to outgrow people, places, and even dreams. We're going to touch on the first thing here. It's okay to outgrow people. That's a fact. As you get older, you remember Genuine had that song called The Same OG. Same OG. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know Genuine back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. Even though I got my own teeth, I don't want to get, hit with the little joint on YouTube. But I could only be me. You know what I'm saying? Same OG. We ain't supposed to be the same OG, dog. Hey, as far as principles go, principles also evolve, right? But as far as character, you know what I'm saying? As far as character. What am I looking for? What's the other word I'm looking for? As far as your character and as far as your moral compass, your principles you stand by, those things are supposed to evolve, in the right direction. The problem is we got a lot of people who's 30 and up and still got the same mindset from when they was 15. I know a lot of niggas back home right now from my city. I know them. They the same nigga they was when we was 15, 16 running around the streets. And that's a problem, because now you got to cut those type people off because you're going to outgrow them. While you trying to build, they still trying to destroy. How do you outgrow places? You outgrow some places. When I was young, man, hey, Corey will tell you, Tavon will tell you, all the people will tell you, Whap will tell you, hey, coming up, we was Taiwan. Who else is with us, man? Come on, man. If you was on the scene, you was on the scene. We used to Chaylin all them. We used to go to the tunnel. That's where we used to go all the time as youngins. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out the tunnel in Baltimore. The tunnel was vicious. That was the nightclub we was going to in high school. We would sneak off on the weekends and go up to the tunnel. And, the scene was lit. We drinking underage. I don't promote that. That's a wrong thing to do. It's a wrong thing to do. But that's what it was. We was doing that. You feel me? We was, smoking, drinking, all that, kicking it, partying, sneaking in the clubs, just about the club scene every single weekend. We trying to be on scene in the club every single weekend. As you got older, though, we began to outgrow certain places. Outgrow that scene. You can outgrow the club scene. As you get older, maybe you feel like you don't got to be in the club every single weekend. Especially if you ain't making no money. You feel me? If you ain't making no money on what you in the club for every weekend. You know what I'm saying? So we do outgrow places, right? We outgrow people, we outgrow places, and even dreams. Ooh. So outgrowing dreams. It says evolution is a sign of growth, not failure. Corey Hanzo said the tunnel was crazy, then to Denny's right after. Big facts. That's what we used to do. We go to the tunnel, then we be at Denny's all night. You know what I'm saying? Trying to grab little late night thrills.
Help me. Help me.
You feel me? That's what it was, man. And those was the vibes back then. That's what we was doing. But as we got older, we got families. We outgrew a lot of people. We outgrew a lot of places. Now, talking about outgrowing dreams, because some dreams, bro, they tell you that, you know, as long as you got your mindset to it, you can do whatever you want to do. I believe that to a degree, but there are some dreams that you can't fight for the time on. By that, I mean, like, yeah, we just watched Manny Pacquiao fight Barrios, if you're a boxing fan, and we seen Manny Pacquiao look vicious in there. Now, Manny Pacquiao's 47. I don't advise anybody at 47 who always had a dream to box to try to get some boxing gloves on and try to go in that ring. There are certain things that you just cannot, that you have to outgrow because physically you can't do it no more. Physically, you're not in your 40s just now trying to get into the NFL. If you in your 40s and still trying to get into the NBA, you cook. It's not to say that you're trash. It's just physically your body is not going to maintain or sustain or be able to perform at the level of people that's in there who are maybe your age but have been doing it over the longevity. And the fact that it's not going to be many agents looking to recruit a 40-year-old into the NBA. So some of those dreams you do got to let go. You know what I'm saying? Also, life be happening. Life be lifing. You know what I'm saying? You know, people get hurt. People get injured. And now certain dreams they have, you just can't do it. You can't do it because you physically can't do the things needed to do to accomplish those dreams, man. Now, there's people, though. Like, shout out to those people like the Paraplegic Olympics and all that. Shout out to them. You know, there are ways of finding... they outgrew the dream of the actual Olympics, right? Because at the time, they didn't allow people with handicaps to join the Olympics, you know what I'm saying, for obvious reasons. So that dream was overgrown until they came with the Paraplegic Olympics and all that type of stuff where they can now go in there and do their thing. So yeah, outgrowing your dreams, that's a hard pill to swallow, you feel me? But some dreams you got to let go of. You got to let go of other dreams, see where you at in life, and strategize how to accomplish new dreams. And sometimes your dreams in the same arena is just a different perspective. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes your dreams, because too much time has went by, you need to realign the dream. You feel me? You can still achieve the success you may have wanted from that dream, but now you just got to retweak it and realign that thing. You feel me? All right, the next thing here, number 5, you won't please everyone and you shouldn't try to. Hey, this is something I struggle with, being a people pleaser, because I feel like I've always gotten along with everybody, and I do often. I can often catch myself. You feel me? I'm the person when I'm around, if I'm around you, I want everybody to be cool. I want everybody to have a good time. I want everybody to have the right energy. So you're trying to put yourself in a position where everybody's good, but you can't be that person trying to please everybody because it's just not possible. People pleasing is exhausting and never ending. Live for your values, not others' validation. Hey, that's cold-blooded reality check right there. You know what I'm saying? Stop worrying about pleasing everybody else. End of the day, you got to do things that you want to do and not worry about whether people have a problem with it and not seek their validation. Because when it comes to content creation, let's talk about content creation. I had to come to grips with the fact that just because we know each other and just because we grew up together, I can't expect you to support what I'm doing. I can't expect that from you, because I shouldn't expect validation from anybody else, because I'm self-validated. You know what I'm saying? Who I am. You know what I'm saying? We got to start validating ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Validate yourself internally. Don't seek for validation outside of yourself, because at the end of the day, you may be in a city, you may be in a circle, you may be in a area where no one is validating what you're doing, supporting what you're doing. But this world is comprised of billions of people. And all you need is a small percentage of people just like you to get the eyes on you. And if you even never get it, as long as internally you know that you gave your best effort, internally you was checking off all the boxes, crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, you validate yourself. Be happy with yourself and the things that you've come to do. Because for some people in content creation, you know how hard it is for them to get in front of a camera and just to talk to people? There are people that are introverts that want so hard to be content creators, but they're introverts. You know what I'm saying? They're not used to being social, and it's really just crippling for them to sit in front of a camera and talk to the viewers. But yeah, self-validation. Number 6, man, this is one of the most important things I've learned, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to take it more serious, but health is wealth. Man, it ain't no point in being rich. It ain't no point in being successful. It ain't no point of even having children if you ain't putting your health first. Now, I've gained weight, and I know I have, you feel me? But under the hood, I always make sure my blood work is good, my organs is good, my heart is good, my kidneys, liver, all that stuff is A1, baby. That's right. That's right. Hey, because contrary to popular belief, just because you don't have a six-pack don't mean that you are not, not healthy internally, under that hood. You feel me? That's what we're looking for. So yeah, health is wealth, because if you don't put health first, how are you going to be around for longevity, for your success, to enjoy your success, the longevity to enjoy your family and to make those memories? Because truthfully, people is dying at a young age. They unaliving at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Because of health problems, heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, you know what I mean? Sleep apnea. You talk to people that's around your age in their 30s and 40s. If you over 30, you should be getting blood work done. Man, matter of fact, you can even back it up, because people just die on a basketball court sometimes. When you get out of your mama house, make sure you get your blood work done and stay on top of your blood work. And if you don't do it once every 6 months, do it once a year. Just at the end of every year, see what your blood is looking like and see what things it may be lacking in it, what you can do to improve certain things, because it's going to pretty much outline everything that's going on in your body. And the problem is we wait till the last minute. We wait until something happens. We're reactive instead of being proactive. You feel me? But the crazy thing is, cancer don't care about you being proactive. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Cancer don't care about you being reactive. That's what I meant to say. Cancer don't care about you being reactive, because if you catch it early enough, if you're proactive in life, you can catch it early enough where they can do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Diabetes don't care nothing about you being reactive. Nope. High blood pressure don't care about you being reactive. Nah. All these things require you to be proactive. Your health is your wealth. You can't spend the money if you dead and gone. You can't enjoy the success if you locked up in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, sick with kidney problems and liver problems. You can't even enjoy spending time with your family, with your kids, and making those memories of throwing, playing ball, and just being active in their lives when you got medical issues. You see 600-pound life? Yeah, they want to be the ones that have kids. That's the biggest regret. They can't play with their kids. They can't enjoy and create those memories with their kids. So yeah, health is definitely wealth, man. All right, let's see. Number 7, you define success, not society. Ooh. Because when you're coming up, right, everybody, let's say if you a rapper, right, there's not many rappers that wouldn't want to trade spots with like a Drake or a Kendrick Lamar. I mean, maybe now because, the situation, but I'm just talking about the status of the person, right? Like Drake and Kendrick are like top tier elite. They're on the top of the rap game. You know what I'm saying? There's not, if you wanted to be a rapper, you know, you always wanted to reach those plateaus. You want to reach the highest plateau possible. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that we've got to the point where society tells you if you don't reach the highest plateau of what you're trying to do, then you're not as successful as someone that did. And that's backwards. Nah, society shouldn't determine what your success is, because your success equals happiness. You feel me? So whatever's made you happy and whatever goals you accomplish, if internally you're happy, then you successful. Yeah, we got to get out of that because it'll tear you down. It's an old saying. What it say? You live for their applause, you die. What does it say? What's that saying, man? You live for the applause, you die by the criticism. Let's see real quick. What is that saying? There it is. If you live for the applause, you'll die for the booze. So if you base your whole life upon the society standards of success and you don't achieve that, it's going to kill you inside. You know what I'm saying? It's really going to tear you up internally. And that's something you don't want. We don't want that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You want to be able to live life, set your own goals, you feel me? And be content with the level of success you get. Everybody can't be Michael Jordan. Everybody can't be LeBron James. Everybody can't be a Steph Curry. But it's cats that made it to the G League. It's cats that made it to the NBA who don't get as much shine. But it's people who set other goals that may not have reached the pedestal, but they live lives where they're doing what they wanted to do with their lives and they're happy. So therefore they are successful by their own terms. All right, boom. Let's see. Number 8, it's never too late to start over. And that's a big fact. I know that people will tell you like, oh, you starting over again. You trying this, you trying that. Yes, it's never too late to grow, evolve, to rebrand yourself. I mean, people that know me know my name as far as making content has been changed so many times from Just Kev to K Dash, you know, when I'm rapping and stuff, to now it's the Shogun K. Like I feel it, you know, starting over, starting from scratch, you evolving, you trying different things. You know, you can't be afraid to start over, because as long as you got breath in your lungs, as long as your mind is working, as long as you can set your goals up, as long as you can motivate yourself and discipline yourself. It don't matter how many times you start over, because you only need to be successful internally that one time to get you in a place where you're happy and you're content, even if you never reach the plateau. Like we said a minute ago, if you get that internal happiness, you've won. When you look at a lot of these companies, when we look at Apple, when you look at Microsoft, when you look at Android, when you look at all these other companies, when you look at McDonald's, when you look at the history of all the times they had to start over, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know, you will be amazed. You will be shocked how many no's they got before they got a yes. You know, but all it takes is one yes. You know, how many times you got to go back to the drawing board and figure it out. When you're looking at the McDonald's franchise, there's a movie about McDonald's. I forgot what it's called. What's that McDonald's movie? Anybody know what that McDonald's movie is called? McDonald's movie. It's called The Founder. That's what it's called, The Founder. And this joint, The Founder, is starring Michael Keaton, the original Batman. You feel me? Shout out to my dog, Michael Keaton. But to show you how McDonald's came to be, the two guys had a burger joint, and the process of just creating what we know today as fast food and how food goes from the grill, you know what I'm saying, from the freezer to the grill, to the coworker, to the customer, just making that blueprint of how do we get fresh food to these people within 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. It took a whole lot of work. It took a whole lot of practice to figure out how we make the setup so that it flows like a like a line in a warehouse. If you ever worked in like Amazon or any type of bread factories or any type of factory work, you know, you got what is that line called? What's that line called when all the products come down? I forgot what it's called. But pretty much it's like having a flow of things. You feel me? Having the flow from the burgers to go to the bun, for this to get wrapped here, to get pushed over here to the conveyor belts. That's what it's called, the conveyor belts. Formulating conveyor belts, you know what I'm saying? Just to get the product smoothly flowing, to get it going. You know what I'm saying? They had to restart that, rethink that, redo that over and over and over. Their marketing strategies, they had to redo it over and over and over and over and over until they got something that worked. You feel me? They even had to rebrand how they was advertising the burgers to get it to work. They had to start over from locations and learn, you feel me, which locations would work, why and why not. You had to keep starting over and do it again, do it again, and do it again, and do it again. But through all that, we now got the Golden Arches. How old? Somebody was old that started. How old was y'all that started? Colonel Sanders. How old was Colonel Sanders? Colonel Sanders age when he started KFC. Colonel Sanders was 40 years old when he started selling fried chicken in Corbin, Kentucky. But when did he start the franchise? I think he was a little bit older. He started KFC at 65 years old. He started selling chicken at 40. You know how many times he had to start over from scratch before it took 25 years before he could make KFC. That's crazy. But he wasn't afraid to start over. And that's what you got to do. Not being afraid to start over. Why this light? Hold on. Why my light over here? Give me 1 second here. This light was on earlier. Why this light ain't? You ain't on. Damn, yeah. Why you ain't on, man? Get my glow right, man. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get my glow right. Actually, I don't even. Is that too bright? I don't know. It might be too bright. Might be too bright. Let me see here. Step number 9. Let go of grudges. They only poison you. That's a hard one because on one side, I understand that completely. You got to let go of grudges because all it does is create more toxic energy within you because you holding on to something, the idea, the memory, the thought, you know what I'm saying? It can piss you off and get you in a negative space mentally and spiritually. You holding on to this grudge and it's like a thorn in your side whenever you think about this thing, you know what I'm saying? So holding on to that grudge is not healthy for you at all. It also causes internal problems with like cancers and stress and all type of stuff just from holding grudges. So I get that. On the other note, some grudges need to be held. Lord, it's some things that God is gonna have to take from me. Hey, it's some grudges that I just can't clear the debt from. I got to leave it to Christ. You feel me? You know, he gonna have to deal with that. I don't even got the strength to be able to do it because when I say I'm done with it, when I think about it, it makes me mad all over again. So Jesus, take the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Okay, number 10. Self-awareness is a superpower. It says understanding your patterns, triggers, and behaviors helps you grow past them. Being self-aware. How often do you take time and look in the mirror and really just reflect on who you are as a person, how you treat people, what you're reciprocating to other people? Are you the person that you're asking other people to be? Are you giving out the same energy that you want reciprocated to you? Do you take accountability for your decisions, your choices, your thought process? Hey, that's a hard one. Michael Jackson had a song called Man in the Mirror. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. You know what I'm talking about? No message couldn't be any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, just look at yourself and make a change. Yeah. Shout out to Michael Jackson for that, because that's real rap. Real rap. Are you taking accountability? Or are you looking at yourself internally? Are you saying, you know what? Let me stare in this mirror and look at the sight, the image, the reflection that I'm getting. Am I happy with this? And am I willing to make changes until I get an image that I'm happy with? Self-awareness is power. It's a superpower, it says, man. Boom, here goes a heavy one. Number 11. Stop comparing your journey to others. That's a tough one right there. That's something I'm still wrapping my mind around, because I ain't gonna lie. I'll make content and I'll see people who don't really try and have these big followings and they're not really giving content, or they're not really putting effort behind shit. Like, I'm talking about they don't even have good audio. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, they got more followers than me. You know, stop comparing yourself to other people's journeys. That's a big one. You know what I'm saying? What journey you on in life right now? What's that journey look like for you? You know, we all got different paths to walk. This person, it may have took this person 5 years to get the results you wanted, but it may have took you 20 years. But if we sit back watching the 5-year person, we gonna miss out on all the steps we supposed to take, even if it take us 20 to get there. That's something I wish I could have been telling myself when I was a kid. I remember when I was rapping, when I was real young, I used to always compare myself to DMX and the Jay-Z and the people that was on. I'm like, man, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like, you know, I want to be there. And I'm listening to the album, and sometimes it'll make you feel like you can't do it. It'll make me, it used to when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm comparing myself to the elites. Like, nah, my shit ain't on their level at all. And it can discourage you. When you watching somebody else's path, somebody else's journey, and you see what they doing, it can definitely discourage you. Even to this day, when content creators look at themselves, right, and they see Cassinet, they see AMP, they see Duke Dennis, they see Agent, they see I Show Speed, they see all these content creators at the peak of their career, right, and they look, and it kind of discourages them, because they feel like, I'm never gonna reach that. But you can't compare your journey to their journey. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you're looking at the grind after years and years of grinding. You're looking at the success after years of grinding. You know, as long as you put the work in, one day you're going to have somebody looking at your journey. And when you talk to them, you tell them, don't compare your journey to mine, because we're not the same. And that's not a knock to anybody. It's just we all got different obstacles in our way. We all got different paths we got to walk. We all got different ways the Most High is using us to interact and influence other people on their journey. So that may take you longer to get to your goal, because he may be using you over here. He might be using you over there. You know what I'm saying? But your journey is this way, but you got to make a pit stop here, because you a person that can talk good and you listen good and you counsel well. So he sent you this way, you know what I'm saying, to learn certain things and to help people out. But you focused on your destination here, but you might have a lot of pit stops on the way, man. So don't compare your journey to their journey. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's for you, whatever's meant for you, you're going to get it when the time's right. You know what I'm saying? I believe that when God wants you to get something, he may hold it back from you, because you may still have your hands on the steering wheel. I know I be doing that, because when I pray, you know what I'm saying, the faith be there, I be putting the work in, and then I get frustrated, I get impatient, I put my hands back on the wheel. Or because I'm not seeing the results I want to see, you know what I'm saying, I'm veering off the course. I'm like, nah, let me do this, this ain't working. You know, even with this stream, I could have came on and did a reaction video, but I was like, you know, it's reaction videos every day. How about you get on here and talk some real life stuff? How about you get on here and talk some real life lessons? And even when I look down, I see, you know, nobody's in here. Somebody will see it later. I pray that it helps whoever needed to see it, though. I pray that God gets it into the ears and to the eyes of those who needed it. Hey, here go the thing, too. Here go the funny thing. It may only be one person. This video only may hit one person. that needed to hear it. To me, I may feel like I failed because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the vision God got, you know what I mean? So it's on my side, it may look like a failed mission, but you never know the impact you're going to have on one person from the jewels you drop or the positive energy you giving. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't take a million eyes to be successful. It takes the right eyes to be successful. You know what I'm saying? It take the right people that's going to gravitate to the content you doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to have a million eyes. You need the right eyes. You need the right set of people that feel you, understand you, that's growing with you, that think like you, that feel how you feel, that can understand what you're going through, that sit back and they wonder, is anybody else thinking like me? Those are the people you want. You don't want the people that's there because you lit. Now that you lit, everybody, you feel me? Everybody on you because you lit. Them ain't the people you want. Nah, you want the people that truly is there for you, the person. You know what I'm saying? And that's what today is about. This is why I'm going through lessons that I've learned. You know what I'm saying? As I've had my birthday, and I'm 42 now. Definitely, my cousin said I'm onk. You feel me? Let's see here. The next one. You can't fix people, and it's not your job to. Ooh. How many of y'all women, this goes to everybody, but women have a big problem with this because a lot of women that get into these bad relationships, they feel like they can fix the man they dealing with. Like, baby, you'll take a man with all these red flags and you think that you know, getting them around your uncles and your father and them and you putting money in his pocket and helping him, you can fix this man. Listen, if you ain't a psychiatrist, if you ain't a counselor, it is not your job to fix people. Because truthfully, if you're a regular person looking for experiences in life, looking for relationships, it's not your job to fix people. No. You know what I'm saying? Even in the scriptures, you feel me? You're supposed to lead them to God. Let God fix them. Hey, man, look. It says offer love, not rescue missions. People must want to change for themselves. And that's facts. People got to want to change for themselves. You got to want to be the person that looks at yourself and you want to change for you. Because you can even see with a lot of addicts out there, it's people that's alcoholics, you feel me, that's on drugs, and they can never change or stay sober, right, or drug free if they're doing it for anybody else except themselves. That's why they'll keep going back to it. What is it called? Relapsing. They'll keep relapsing, especially when they're trying to do it because maybe the judge said, if you don't do it, I'm throwing you in jail. Maybe the kids are saying, do it for me. People are telling them, do it for your kids. Nah, they got to do it for themselves because it's not going to be sustainable if you really don't want to change. All right. And that's real rap. You can't fix nobody. Now you can give advice. Like I said, it says offer love, not rescue missions. You come in and when you love people, right? When you giving love, the way you treat them, the way you talk to them, you're going to try to positively uplift them. You know what I'm saying? You offer the love, not a rescue mission, not a handout. You offer them love. You help them when you can. You know what I'm saying? You try to give them jewels and you try to give them assistance, but you don't rescue them because they got to want to rescue themselves. Number 13 says joy needs to be intentional. Don't wait for happiness. Create it in small, everyday moments. Ooh. All right. Your joy needs to be intentional. You're responsible for your own happiness. This is conversations I've had with people before where no matter what you do, I'm talking a relationship type status, right? You can have all the money in the world and you can give a girl $10,000 a day, buy her a Maybach, pay all of her bills, keep her dripped down in Gucci, right? But if she has chosen not to be happy, she not finna be happy. You can't. We not in control of anybody else's happiness. All we can do is create small moments of happiness as we live life every day. You have to intentionally, internally make a decision every day to be happy. We see people with all the money and fame that you would never think would get up out of here. Like when I see Robin Williams, the actor, the comedian, I would have never thought that he would do what he did and got himself up out of here. Money fixes a lot of problems. It does. It fixes a lot of problems, but it don't fix every problem. It can make you happy for a while, but not forever. And what I mean by that is money by itself. You know, some people are like, shoot, money will make me happy. Yeah, it will. It will. It will. But for how long will just money make you happy? Or would you rather at some point do you come to the point where you don't want a bunch of yes people around you? Because when you got a lot of money, you don't know who to trust. You don't know what relationships is genuine. You don't know really who in your corner. You really don't know if people there for you or they there for your money. And that's just a terrifying way to live, because you got to watch your back 24/7. You got to watch your back from the relationships you involve yourself in, the people you allow in your crib, the women you date, the men you date, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa and all that. You got to just be always cautious with every single situation that deals with a relationship, because you got so much bread, you got so much money. And you thinking that the money is going to be the fix to all things, and it's not. And then a lot of people that's rich are not really happy internally. There's a rich person right now. There's a rich man or woman right now who cannot find a person to be with out of fear that the person is just after them for their money. Let's see here. Number 14. Your body deserves love at every stage. Ooh. It says aging is a privilege. Take care of your body, but don't be at war with it. Ooh. Ooh, I needed to hear that one, because I be hard on myself, bro. Because I've gained weight and I be hard on myself, bro. Like, I had to start accepting where I'm at with my body, where I'm at in my stage of life right now. Yeah, I definitely want to get back to my 6-pack. I want to get back to keeping the shirt off and all that. But until then, you got to love your body where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like what it say, take care of your body, but don't be at war with it. Yeah, get in shape, but don't tear yourself down about where you're at right now. It's a lot of people that could benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your body, but don't be at war with yourself. Stop tearing yourself down. Stop looking at yourself and being unhappy. You understand there's changes need to be made, but love you where you are in that moment. Because like I said, aging is a privilege, right? It's a privilege. It's a lot of people that were not blessed to get older. They weren't blessed to the point where they were blessed with longevity on this earth. You feel me? And we are. So as you going through life, life be life, and yo, stress be stressing you. You know, some people eat when they stress. Some people have trauma they going through. Some people are burdened with bills or their children and in bad relationships. And it's just so much negative stuff that's out here, bruh. Not to mention the food. The food is so jacked up that we eat here. It's designed to make you crave unhealthy things that's really just killing ourselves. It's killing our bodies. It's making us obese. It's giving us diabetes. And, you know, the food jacked up. The structure's jacked up. We got 5G pumping everywhere. We got, you know, fluoride in the water. You know what I'm saying? The oceans got pollution. The air is polluted. It's just no getting around all the craziness that's happening. So just love yourself where you're at and don't be too hard on yourself. Because we don't know how long we got here, right? We don't know about that. We don't know if this week may be our last week. Don't spend your last week hating yourself, being upset with yourself. Just accept where you are and make the changes you can make. But don't overdo it either. Gradual changes. Gradual changes equal longevity. Short changes often go back to relapsing. Short, quick changes, bro. You gonna often go back and relapse on stuff, man. Let's see. Number 15 says, let go of should and live in what's true for you. That's a tough one, because when you're in your 30s, you start to look back. You think about that. It says here, I should be married by now. I should own a home. Stop shoulding all over yourself. Stop shoulding. Stop saying where you should have been, where you should have been, where you should have been, and just live with what you got right now. Because we can shoulda, woulda, coulda all day, but that's not going to change today's circumstances. There are decisions that we made. There are paths that we made. And like I said, life be lifing. And that may have been the reason why you're not where you wanted to be, but you can still get there. You can still get there. It says number 16, apologize when you're wrong. Don't when you're not. Hey, but that take a level of discernment, right? If you wrong, you apologize when you're wrong. But when it says don't apologize when you're not, you got to be able to have that accountability and discernment to understand when you are wrong. Because if you're a person that always think they're right, you're never going to apologize based on that. If you're not willing to self-reflect, take accountability, listen to others, think on things, think them through, you know what I'm saying? Think logical. You're not going to be able to ever apologize about nothing, because in your heart of hearts, in your mind, you done nothing wrong. Apologizing go a long way, though. Apologizing go a long way. Just saying, my bad, I'm sorry. Especially when it's something you didn't mean. When you ain't mean for something to happen like that, you can, my bad, I'm sorry. They go a long way. It de-escalates a lot of situations that could have went left. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of power in apologizing, especially when you're coming from a sincere place. Number 17, we almost done. The list only goes to 20. Number 17, make peace with your past. Ooh. It says healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning and moving forward with wisdom. Ooh. How many of y'all have made peace with your past? You know, I had to make peace with my father on a lot of things. I lost my father a year ago, and I had to make peace with a lot of things, a lot of anger that I held on to, a lot of things that I always wanted him to do and be there for that he wasn't. And I had to make peace with the past. The past is the past. You can't change that. Even in relationships, you know what I'm saying? You got to make peace with the past. Technically, everything I'm saying right now is you're hearing it. You heard it in the present, but as soon as it escapes your thought, your mind, your everything, it's now the past. As soon as it actually left my lips, it became the past. You know what I'm saying? Stop holding on to the past, man. Make peace with it. What's happened, happened. Now, how do I move forward knowing what's happened? That's the thing. You do that with wisdom, right? If you made bad choices and bad decisions, now you know what choices and decisions not to make. So that's how you move forward. You know, you make better choices, make better decisions, you know, be more disciplined, be more focused, do things that you didn't do the last time. You know what I'm saying? Like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different outcome. Making peace with your past, that's a heavy one. Because a lot of us got some toe up past. We come from abuse, substance abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse. We come from neglect. We come from the hood. We come from just crazy backgrounds, man, and crazy upbringings. So to tell somebody to make peace with their past can seem like, nah, never. Like an unforgivable thing. And certain things have happened to people that are unforgivable, but you still got to make peace with that in order to move forward. We got to accept the things that happened in the past, good and bad, right? Because you're not going to be able to move forward if you hold on to them. You got to accept that it happened, whatever. I can't do nothing about it. It's in the past. I got to move forward in my life. Here goes a big one I'm on. Number 18. Laugh more, stress less. That's a big one. laughing more and stressing less. And it's really hard to do when you're in a stressful life because bills is hitting on you. If you a single mom, a single parent, a single father, you're doing everything yourself. You don't have any family to rely on. If you a person who is stressed out from school, if you stressed out from work, like it's really hard to laugh more and stress less when all you see is stress, when everything is just stressing you out. It's really hard to laugh more, but we gotta find a lot of things. Like Kevin Hart had that tour, Laugh at My Pain. You know what I'm saying? When you take life experiences that happen and you made peace with your past, you can now laugh at some of them things. Something I used to hear my mother and them say when they was coming up, a lot of times they laughed to stop crying. Certain things in life, you laugh to avoid crying. You know what I'm saying? You laugh about certain things. Even, the best comedians are able to take, you feel me, crazy situations and make them funny. They can make jokes out of the most terrible situations, the most terrible, traumatic things that happen to people in our neighborhood, in our society, and they're able to make laughter out of them. Because we gonna have stress until we gone. You know what I'm saying? Stress ain't going nowhere. It's how do we engage that stress? What are we doing to alleviate that stress? A lot of people don't alleviate the stress. They just keep pushing through with that stress. But find more time to laugh more. You know what I'm saying? To take the load off. You know what I'm saying? To release that dopamine in your body. Number 19, legacy is greater than likes. What impact do you want to leave? Focus on depth. Focus on depth, not digital applause. Impact. What kind of impact do you want to leave? That's a real big thing because that goes into your principles, your character, your moral structure. What are you trying to do here? Because the footprint you leave is the footprint you leave. If you an asshole to everybody, you're not going to be remembered. You're just not going to, the footprint you're going to leave is not going to be a positive one if it's even remembered at all. If you treat people, crazy your whole life, you know what I'm saying? It's people that did a lot of crazy things that have unmarked graves. Where people don't even want to remember this person. I don't want to leave no legacy like that. I want my legacy to be a good one. I want my family legacy for my great-grandchildren to speak about who their great-grandfather was. I want them to speak about how their great-grandfather tried to do everything he could. He was a family man. He was positive. He was trying to do the best he could. And that he devoted himself to his family. He devoted himself to God. He was always trying to get himself right. He walked every day with love. He shared love. He showed love. He was a good friend. He was a good you know what I mean? Like I want my family to talk about me like that. The way we talk about my grandfather, you know what I'm saying, and my family, the way we talk about my great-grandfather, that's the kind of legacy I want to leave so that when my name comes up, it warms hearts. It doesn't bring back traumatic memories or negative energy. Let's see here. Last but not least, number 20. You're still becoming. You're not finished yet. Don't believe the myth that your 40s are the beginning of the end. They can be the beginning of the best. We are all unfinished products or projects until you're gone. You are a work in progress until the day you leave this earth. You gotta understand that. You just a work in progress. Nobody perfect. Nobody got it all figured out. Until we leave this joint, you are not done. You're still becoming the person you're supposed to be becoming. And hopefully you become that person before we close the eyes that last final time, before we go to the upper room. If you ever watched the movie Life, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. So yeah, that's the list of things from ChatGPT. ChatGPT, gave his insight on things that we should have learned by the time we start hitting your 40s. If I had learned these things earlier on, I wish, hindsight is 20/20. You wish you can go back and tell yourself, to not be so hard on yourself, to really lock in, to be nicer and kinder to people, you know what I'm saying? To get rid of dead weight, to appreciate yourself, to move with love. If you had taught yourself these early on in life, you may be on a different path, Making peace with your past is the big thing, because I know people to this day who don't mess with their baby father because of something that happened 30, 40 years ago. He cheated on her 40 years ago and she's still upset about it. Something that happened to somebody 40 years ago has stopped you from being in a relationship and you by yourself at 70. There's certain grudges you're holding on to that stop you from growing as a person, and you in your 40s. Laugh more, stress less. We take on so much responsibility. We forget about ourselves. We take on so much because we got the car notes due, we got the bill due, the rent due, the mortgage due. We got to work 40, 50 hours a week. We got to try to fit in time with the kids. The kids want to play sports, so now I'm going to football practice after working 10 hours. And it's just never any time or moments that you can really find yourself to give yourself that space to laugh. But you got to find a way to get rid of the stress, to offload the stress, to do things that alleviate stress. That's why a lot of people play video games, man. People be thinking, oh, you too old to be playing video games. Nah, you understand. Playing that video game is alleviating stress. It's releasing dopamine in the body. It's getting people the help that they need. Some people love watching movies. Some people love reading comic books. Some people love reading books. Some people like going fishing, just sitting on the water for 5 to 6 hours, maybe catching one fish, but it's alleviating a lot of stress in their life. Some people like building to alleviate stress, putting puzzles together, you know what I'm saying? Working on cars, working on motorcycles. People do a lot of stuff to relieve stress. We got to find that. We got to find that space that we can just let go of stress and really just tune out all of life's interferences, tune out all the negative energy. People that love church, right? They love the mega church because when they go there, they're getting dopamine. Outside of the spiritual stuff in their body, they are putting themselves in a stress-free environment. You feel me? And they're releasing dopamine in their body. They're feeling good. They're letting go of the stress. They're unwinding. We got to find that, because society right now is jacked. A lot of us is cooked right now, for real, because we haven't learned that. We haven't learned how to love yourself and how to let go of stress. We need that. A big thing from this thing was allowing who has access to you. That's a big thing that's still sticking out to me. Not everyone deserves access to you. Once you know who you are and you know your worth and you know your value, you can't give everybody access to you no more, family or friends. You got some family members who only will hit you up when they need something from you, when they need money, when they need clothes, when they need something. The only time you hear from them when they need your help is when they want to take something from you. That's when you got to start limiting access. Nah, don't give everybody your number. Nah, don't give so-and-so my number. Why? Nah, don't give them my number. You feel me? If they want to contact me, they can hit me up on the messenger on Facebook. Don't get them my number, man. They can't have that kind of access to me. Health is wealth, man. So those is lessons, man, that we learned. We should have learned by our 40s. If you're younger listening to this, man, run it back. Run it back and think about where you are in life right now, and think about some of these things that Chat GPT put forward. Made a lot of sense to me. And I know everybody, if you're in your 20s, especially your late 20s, you can look at this list and be like, yeah, damn, if I'd have known some of these things, I'd be in a different position, And that's just the truth. That is the truth. I think I'm about to get up off of here, though, man. Been on here for a little minute, a little hour, 10 minutes, just talking about life lessons. But yeah, if you got any life lessons you want to share, things that you've learned, let me know in the comments below. If you want, if you want the Tizoob, if you're on the Twitch, run it back, and you could just let me know there too. You could DM me, whatever you're going to do. It don't matter. Hey, man, y'all enjoy life. Stay blessed. You know, keep learning lessons. Keep spreading wisdom. Keep dropping jewels. And until next time, peace.